Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new TV show spoiler review here in Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today, we're talking about episode 8, the series, maybe the series, but at least the season finale of the HBO DC show, The Penguin, titled Episode 8, A Great or Little Thing. We're going to break down the episode in full spoiler fashion, give my general thoughts on the series as a whole, as it is now officially over. And that's going to be this video. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie and TV show reviews, a box office show every Tuesday, movie franchise rankings, and I do instant reactions / out of theater reactions. If you like any one of those things, please subscribe and ring the bell. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on The Penguin as a whole? Do you want a season 2? Do you think that you do another show in between Batman 2 and 3? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, please like the video. Also, before this video, I do want to say I want to thank everyone for getting us to above 250 subscribers out of nowhere. I've been getting some traction lately. The site for Nora, the Twitter page for Nora, retweeted my tweet, and I got a lot of views as well for my review of a movie from last week. I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. We're growing every day. Really, I'm seeing the most traction I've seen in my entire run on YouTube. So let's keep that going by subscribing, commenting. I just want to thank you guys before getting into this video. So, again, this is a full spoiler review. If you've not seen The Penguin episode 8 or any of the episodes of The Penguin, full spoilers ahead. I found that this was a fantastic finale episode that wrapped up a fantastic show. That was the perfect bridge from Batman 1 into Batman 2. And the show, rightfully so, in my opinion, had a lot of things they had to overcome. Mostly in movies or shows, when it is a villain that is titled, we always have movies or shows that basically say, oh, they're not that bad, or we should feel sorry for them if they're in this position, or this isn't their fault that they're an absolute horrendous person. And then you also have the fact of that this was a Batman sequel spin-off show without Batman. And the idea of, could you make a show like this where the audience isn't thinking to themselves, where is Batman? The show accomplished both of those things. Now, to get into this finale, we have a really heartbreaking and a big twist to open the episode, which was that Frances, Oz's mom, knew the entire time that Oz is the one who killed his brothers and or her kids. Because we have this opening flashback scene, which is really cool, where DJ O'Connell, who plays the current day version of Frances, she actually gets to play her younger self in the scene when she's getting used by Julian. And the scene with the gangster who Oz says he was friends with. And basically, they have a deal where at that dinner or at that restaurant, she was going to give away Oz and kill him because she, in her heart of hearts, sadly made a deal with the devil. And Oz never knew that his mom knew that he killed 2 kids. And it leads to a really heartbreaking one-on-one scene because Frances, for Oz's whole life, could never tell Oz any of her real emotions, and she lets Oz have it. And the reason why, too, is that Oz was going to let them cut off her pinky off in order for Oz to lie and continue the lie that he's the one who did not kill the brothers. And sadly, that's going to be the last conversation probably that Oz and his mom ever have together, because obviously she has a big major stroke to end the series. Which leaves her in this state where she's just looking out in the distance, becoming a vegetable, which she told Oz a couple episodes ago, you have to kill me before I get to that point. Obviously, that did not happen. So Oz gets just unloaded on by his mom. Never has happened before. Because the truth is, he continues to tell himself that this entire life that he built for himself was all for his mom. But it wasn't. It was built up for him. He killed his brothers because he wanted his mom's full attention for himself. And everything was just for him to benefit. And while he can continue to tell himself that it was for his mom, it was all for himself. So this whole episode, Sophia is also preparing to leave Gotham. She is handing over the house to whoever picks up Oz, and she is out of there, just like Selina was to end the Batman. She leaves Gotham at the end of the first Batman movie. So we have this back and forth where Oz is back with Vic. They seem like they're on the same page. Leaves Francis at the hospital, and there's a big twist where right at the plane, it looks like Sophia will get away and leave Gotham, but a lot of them turn on her. I think it's Lynx. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. The guy who turns on and helps Victor and Oz. And we feel like we're setting up for Oz to kill Sophia. But he gives her something that's probably worse than death, which is Oz leaves her alive to rot in Arkham. And now the only thing that I did not like about the episode was it made no sense that Julian is now back working at Arkham. He literally quit the job and then suddenly he's back. Of course, he gets to work with Sophia. That did not make a lot of logistical sense. But again, it didn't pull me out of the scene. Sophia's last scene in the episode is Julian handing her a letter from Selina Kyle, who we know from the first Batman movie is her half-sister. And that's what he says to her, and she reads the letter to herself, and we speculate, and it seems like we're going to get more of Sophia. Now, I hope that means, I think it does mean that we'll see Sophia Falcone or Sophia Gigante in Batman 2. Because as we know, Selina got out of Gotham, but it seems like she'll have to come back for her half-sister. That is going to be very interesting. I said the whole season, my dream for the next Batman movie is for Selina and Sophia to have a scene together because they've obviously been through so much. Selina never had a good relationship with Carmine, and obviously Sophia was very close with Carmine, even though things obviously did not turn out well for her. I am very excited that they are doing this and moving forward with the idea of the two of them possibly meeting up in the next movie. We also leave Arkham with a lot of people we know in Arkham, because not just is Sophia in Arkham at the moment, but we know that Barry Keoghan's Joker is in Arkham, and we still know that Paul Dano's Riddler is in Arkham. I do think it's a good idea of setting things up where they're going to really stack the box and put all these villains in Arkham, which will probably lead to either in 2 or 3 a big escape movie where all of these criminals and the rogues gallery gets out of Arkham and wreaks havoc on Gotham. And now Batman has to clean up the scraps of what that happens. I think that's a really interesting story to move forward with as we continue with the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman universe. But we get the most heartbreaking scene of the whole show, which is this last. So obviously Oz breaks down that she's basically gone in his mind. She has a serious stroke. She's not going to be out of the state. And she's basically now a vegetable. Oz breaks down, and Victor is there to witness this because now Victor has basically become a part of the family. And basically when that stroke happens to her, he basically feels like that she is dead at that point to him. And we get this scene where Oz just wants her to forgive him for all those things. Obviously, he'll never get that from her. Oz and Victor are sitting on the bench, and he thanks Victor. He couldn't do this without Victor. Victor then exclaims, "You're family to me. You picked me up. No one believed in me, but you believed in me. I'll always be loyal to you." And that's when Oz shows his true colors. Every time the show sucks you in on, actually, I am kind of rooting for him. This is the stamp that he is an actual villain with a capital V, which is Oz says, "Oh, I can't have you on the next part of this journey." And she says, "What? And what do you do?" And then that's when Oz chokes out and kills Victor. Now, a lot of people are predicting that Victor might not be dead. I think Victor actually should be dead. This was an absolute emotional gut punch. I think we're all wondering who would make it out of the show, who were not. Victor getting killed by Oz himself and by his bare hands was a truly heart-wrenching thing. This one guy who the only guy who seems to believe in Oz, truly sees Oz for who he is and still trusts him and is loyal to him, he would do anything for Oz, ends up dying by begging to him. And the choke out, and he drops his ID. And it's just another person on Oz's track to being basically the kingpin of the DC universe here heading into the next Batman movie. Heart-wrenching scene. Victor really was, and Oz kept telling him as he was killing him, "You're a good person, Vic. You have a good heart, Vic." What most of these shows, as I said, do is make the villain kind of an anti-hero at best, someone that you're supposed to root for. They do not. Oz Cobb, the Penguin, is a villain. This is not someone that should be feeling bad for. This show does a great job of you understanding Oz and where he is in life, but he is a ruthless monster. And in this last episode, he becomes a monster by putting Sophia back in Arkham, by killing Victor by his bare hands. And now this transactional relationship with Eve has Eve now dressing up as his mom, as now Oz is on top. Oz, yes, was a very interesting character in the Batman, but he feels like the perfect trajectory for his character post the events of the first Batman movie. And he's in a different place because now there's no more Maronis and there's no more Falcones. And Sophia is in prison. And Oz now seems to have control of all of the gangs now, as a lot of those leaders get killed off by younger people who feel like they're being overlooked. And we end the show with Oz dancing with Eve, and Eve saying that, no one's going to stop you. No one's in your way. And obviously, as a Batman fan, you know that Batman will be in his way very soon. And we cut, and the last shot, I'm so pumped. And as they're dancing, we see the bat signal hit Gotham. This is an amazing show following up an amazing movie. Matt Reeves put in place a phenomenal world for the Batman universe that we have not been able to see in any of these other Batman movies in our time. Lauren LaFranc did a great job being the showrunner and the writer for this show, making Oz a true villain and a monster that you want to see Batman. You want to see Batman kick this guy's ass in the next movie, like badly. And then you have the Selina and Sophia set up as well. So they did a good job of making this one complete story, but also setting up the events of Batman 2. We do know that Colin Farrell has already talked about how he's going to have at least 5 or 6 scenes in Batman 2, and he will probably be back as well for Batman Part 3. And today, rumors started coming out of them kicking around the idea of a season 2. I actually don't think there should be a season 2. I think if there is a show in between, again, Batman 2 and 3, which I think is a great idea, by the way, for a franchise like this, to have a show bridging the sequels. I do actually think it should be a different character. We kind of got Oz's whole character arc and journey in this movie. I'm not sure we need to do a whole nother 8-episode Oz show for season 2. Unless the viewership was so undeniable for HBO, Warner Brothers, James Gunn, DC, that type of thing. I think it should be a different character for setting the table for Batman 3. But man, Batman Part 2 cannot come soon enough. I'm very excited to see what they do with Penguin and hopefully Sophia in the sequel and where we go from here. So obviously a phenomenal show. Happy I've been here talking about it with you guys over the last 8 weeks. Thank you so much for journeying with me through the Penguin. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.